Welcome back, fellow armchair generals. This is Gamer 1745 here with my continuing playthrough of Panzer Corps 2, and we're in Operation Typhoon. That is sort of the approach to Moscow. There is a Moscow mission after this if we succeed in this mission, and we haven't done so yet. Well, let's... No. Nope, we're going to play it safe. There's no reason to rush. We have plenty of turns left. Okay, and approach Moscow. So we're going to continue with this. And yeah, we'll let them have their turn. They have to rebase their fighters. They're going to try to retake the air base. Didn't do so successfully. They're coming up and attacking my infantry and mauled them heavily. They're attacking tanks in the open, which wasn't a good idea for them. That didn't work out so great for them. That didn't work out so great for them either. That did work out rather well for them. Okay, well, at least they pulled out. We can reinforce later on. Oh, that's bad. Okay. We'll have to see about suppressing all of that in a moment. But first, we're going to come down here. We can use... We're going to suppress these guys. They'll get a mass attack bonus. It's the flame panzers, which were largely unsuccessful. Not that they didn't work, it just they didn't work so great. Oh, they fall back into the open. Very nice. And they surrender. Very good. We're going to keep these guys cut off for one more turn, I think. Well, No, that's not going to be that effective. Okay, let's come up here and first we can go after this guy. I knew he was somewhere, didn't know he was right there. But yes, good. Can you make it up to any of this fight? No, so you need to rebase. Yeah. To there? Can you make it to any of the fight? Because if we can, okay, good. So they can come up here and go after the bomber. Yeah, one strength fighter will sort of do a little escort type work, but boom. Okay. Well, that clears the skies somewhat here. Yeah, I don't think we have a problem taking out that AA gun, but I just wanted to make sure. Okay. Yeah, you're gonna try to protect that. Good, you can make it up to here. You're a little better at this. At the suppression game. Partially because you're just... Yeah, they'll get a little blowback, as it were. Now that's retreating. Very nice. Since they retreated, these guys are going to come up and attack directly at the artillery. Very good. Always gotta try to remember to use what air power we have. Oh, that's the one that shifted bases. Okay. Oh, that's a mistake. But this is not. You get the, yes, the reinforcement treatment. Yeah, take this city, get the points. You come here. No, don't attack, but you get to come here, screen the artillery. The artillery will hopefully back you up if you attack out of there. Okay, you get to come and take the city. And yeah. End the unit. Not the most elegant thing, but it's working. Orel is ours soon. Well, we're just going to move it for this turn. We'll see about reinforcing it. It's not a core member of my forces, so I'm less worried about it. Though it may still be useful up here. Oh, I sort of like where you're at. Yeah, okay, we're encircled now, which is not good, but that's okay. They're encircled as well. Oh, rain, so no, we get no air support. Well, not what I was wanting at this point, but we'll deal with that. Any of these better odds? No. Yes, we might as well move you up and away. Moving the flame panzers. And you still didn't surrender. Well, I guess that's going to happen now. We're going to come up and around through here, and by the time they get here, most of this will be taken, so we'll push hopefully Yeah, we've got 11 turns or 10 more turns or however you want to count that. I guess this is as good a way any to advance. Now here, you need to take Moscow as soon as you can. Better move into the one hex. Well, I think there's more units up here. There is a battle for Moscow scenario, so I'm not sure. We'll see how it goes. I want to, when we have just one of these victory hexes left, we'll see if we want to take the time to take Moscow, or do we want to just push now. Okay, now for the air use. Oh, it's raining, that's right, no air. Oh boy, forget that. What I'm thinking about doing is, yeah. And no, not really attacking. We're going to, these guys have just moved up here, so move these to sort of protect the guns. Keep from what happening here. Now fortunately this was a weakish attack. And bye-bye. Heavy AA guns. They surrender. No overrun. We'll just move here, move out of the hex there, so it's a little better off. They can attack again. No, we want to. There we go. That's a good push. They can wait on that. Is there any use for towed artillery besides? Well, okay, there's a very good reason for that, and let me explain. For use for towed artillery of a lower size than 150 or 170 or 120. That number there, number of slots, 6 slots, 5 slots. Your 105 millimeter towed artillery. Don't worry about the prestige cost, because if it's just prestige, and all of these go back to Panzer Corps 1, all these would take just one slot, And so it's just the prestige cost. And then you would be absolutely right, Thomas. But with the variance on slots, and you have range here, range of 3, range of 2, 4 slots, 2 slots, and so you have greater range, 1 slot fewer. So there's absolutely good use for lightly armored, very mobile artillery that has okay range. I think we will get Hummels and Wasps, which will have greater range coming in time. I know we'll be getting them. I just don't know the range right offhand. I don't know if the range on the Wasp. I know the Priest. Yeah, I think it's more the Priest couldn't angle their guns up very high. That's the American 105 millimeter setting. So between these two, 150, 105, you have the cost of 3 slots or 4 slots. Well, that could be critical. Do you want to have another tank unit, or maybe just bring in the bridging pioneers for one thing? So there are good reasons. I'm not saying they are overwhelming reasons, but they are good reasons to have it. And so just like, well, you can armor up some infantry units here if you wish, and which take an extra slot. So there are absolutely good reasons. Why don't you the Nirnberwaffe then? Okay, well, I do intend to someday get them, but we have here a situation here of range of 2, range of 3. We can see here that regular 150 millimeter artillery has greater anti-tank and greater anti-infantry power than the Nirnberwaffe. So the Nirnberwaffe is not as good in all counts compared to this. Now here, this one here, that's taking 5 slots for the mobile one. It's a heavier rocket on it, so you're getting better slots, but you again down the range. So I don't know which or what I'm going to use in these, but it's not as good a weapon as this basic 105 field howitzer. So you need to keep that in mind. I do think it has lots of suppression ability, which may not be showing up here so well. So yeah, they definitely have their uses, effective uses. I'm just checking because I interrupted myself. What needs to be moved? These have all been moved. Good. Still raining. Next turn should be sunny. Yes. Now, I don't well, protect infantry absolutely, and is defensive fire. Do use it that way. I very much, and you can see my playthroughs, use artillery in assaulting towns, and not so much in the field. And yeah, in the field, a bit more use of motorized artillery to keep up with the panzers, so that they have some up there. So it's a mix, it's a balance, and I think they're doing a good job. Again, I'm going to not necessarily agree that you're right, but I can agree that anybody can quibble with how many slots a particular unit should take up. Whether it's adding a armored support onto infantry, should that be an extra slot or not? Those are arguable things, and I don't. I have my thoughts on it, but I'm not saying that mine is all right. Hello, Kai. I don't think so. you could definitely do better management of... I can't even rebase here. I want to rebase my aircraft. Better manage the flow of units, but most of my stuff is out of position down here for effective use now. But we're changing that, and we've got, 10 or 11 turns here to deal with this. And so this artillery did fire in protection of the AA guns, so that was useful. And our armor cars almost got slaughtered down there. Theirs did. Okay, now we're back to sunny weather. Okay. Good. Oh, no, I don't want to do that. That's why I like the undo button. No, you withdraw. We have better units to come up like those. But first, let's, well... keep pressure up on them. Yes, they did. You're very right, IKB. They, the Nuremberg, and it sort of means smoke troops or smoke whatever. They were originally actually units that started out using mortars to drop smoke shells to like assault. Germany's big worry was assaulting the Maginot Line, but to cover the movements of regular troops. So not so much to like put smoke rounds right in the midst of your own troops, because those going off can kill and wound your own troops, but they're not terribly effective at that. But mainly sort of fire them in close proximity to your own troops, but more or less on the enemy troops, and then move up through the smoke at bunkers or other fortified positions. That's what they started as. Then they started using rockets, because rockets can carry things a little more efficiently than our regular artillery, because of slower acceleration, and put them on target going. So that they definitely had that special purpose uses. And everyone out there, if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel and follow me on Twitch and YouTube. Would appreciate that. So just partially for, oh, what do you want to call it? Immersion, game effects, whatnot. I do want to have some noble offers, just because it's part of the German mix of units. Can you? No, not really shoot at anybody. You're going to lower your gun barrels. Yes, do a mass attack. Oh, they retreated. Wow, okay, and I move these guys up, and that, not the best idea now. Okay, well, we live, we learn. I hope we learn. Well, then I have to remember, I have to learn that yes, we now have our air power back. Well, that didn't suppress much in the way of enemy air power. enemy artillery there, I should say, with my air power. Hello, El Sivo Vulnerado. I'm sure I'm butchering that, but hello, welcome anyways. Units were extremely different in power, now seen by regular infantry or certain tiers of tanks and planes. I'm liking it. I think generally it's good. I don't have any serious problems with it. I think you can tell. Before I started playing the series, I was playing a lot of Panzer Corps, and there's definite changes, but I think it's all pretty good. Maybe I'm not as critical as I could or should be, but okay, well, we still have that artillery piece back there. Not that we're overly worried about it, but let's see if we can just deal with it. Now I played some against. I was saying I was having some difficulty with some of the French armor. Maybe not. I'm not saying as much trouble as I had in the past with some of the the Panzer IIIs. But I'm not saying that it's. Let's rebase you up to here. Yeah, to here, that's probably safe enough in effective range. Because I remember being concerned about that, and it's been a few weeks since I was playing the French campaign. But not overly concerned, as I think you can tell. So yeah, now you become unencircled, so we're going to come up over here. What do we want to, if at all, now elite reinforce? Well, yeah, I guess we can do that. And that. Hopefully you'll be protected there enough. A little worried about that, but not terribly. Let's use it making hygiene masks. I'm a volunteer. Well, very good for voluntary. Just got home. Yeah, good on you for volunteering on that. Okay, you rebased. You're up here. What can we strike at? I know we have down much of their air force. Oh, this is a JU. Okay, well, well, that's looking pretty good. I'm playing it sort of cautious because I think we can take all the victory hexes and move on to Moscow. I've at least somewhat. We're going to reinforce you. Got my optimism back for this scenario that I didn't have early on in it. Okay, well next turn we'll be able to use more infantry effectively on them. Yeah, I thought they would be attacking. Glad they're just attacking the AA guns. Okay, crush the anti-tank guns now, please. That is helpful, although not fully crushed. Doesn't look like, or does look a little like the steel divisions. Maybe you're stretching that a little bit. It's not a bad map for sure when we can zoom in on it, but it's no steel divisions. Well, actually, I would say we all benefit because by reducing the spread, it helps everyone out, even if only just some, because reducing the spread in other countries is quite helpful. Okay, that is where we're going to put some air. Because I know living in LA, here we are a very international city, so this all really sort of matters. This is the one on, oh, the other. Yeah, okay, come up here and suppress them. So what we want to do here is try to come at this from this angle here. Get into their rear. Okay, not quite what I wanted to do. Okay, that is sort of what I wanted to do. And you just got a good overrun movement, so come up to here. And hit them hard. Hit them again. Well, didn't take them down, but certainly weakened them. Oh, hey, you know, a little manufacture is just a little bit of things, but and in the greater sense of it, it really is just a little bit of help here. But there is just a ripple effect, if you will, with the way everything's going here. And that much is very real. Okay, no, those aren't our flame panzers. Here's our flame panzers. Okay, we want to clear the road and get these guys up. Just keep checking out. What the best maneuvers can be. Might as well keep walking them towards the front. They may be able to help. What's Thomas saying? Yeah, no, that's very good. In my neighborhood here, I've been going out a little bit, but I do mean a little bit. But there's, I would say, more people than normal taking walks and such. But like you're sort of saying, is that they're staying separated. I hear loud talking when I look out my window because they're not near each other and they're greeting each other in those kinds of fashions. So I don't think they, you know, are spreading the disease. They're just sort of going out and about and getting a little exercise and feeling a little less cooped up. Okay, well, that's being effective. So effective, we're going to attack the anti-tank guns with tanks. We're going to leave them in circles. And yeah, they get to come up to the trenches. There we go. Gents, take a walk, yeah. Yeah, I'm sure the winter is fading for most places now. Okay, good weather remains, though cloudy tomorrow, so we want to get in our assaults with air power today. Okay, that's sort of my current plan is the last one I'm going to take. Let's put suppressing attack here. Okay, that's gonna basically fully take them down. Once the unit goes red, they can't shoot back. Now we're going to prep this. Because he's probably going to get an overrun. And he ignores entrenchment, so he'll be able to hit the next unit fairly hard. Which I'm hoping will be that one. Okay, let's see how this goes. Okay, at least took it out. Yeah, was that an overrun? No, it wasn't counted as an overrun for some reason. Not quite sure why that wasn't, but okay. So we don't have a follow-on attack there, but they are fully suppressed now. And that's not an overrun either, so they can't push on there. They've already advanced that they should have been the ones attacking, and that may just clean them up. Yep, took them out. Well, fortunately, Thomas is saying it must be painful if you live in an apartment. Yeah, but just be a good gamer, and then you don't ever want to leave anyway. So other than you probably haven't noticed that there's a problem yet. The 23rd Panzers has been decorated with Unstoppable Offensive level 1, so they're now a steamroller unit. Any kill triggers an overrun, so if they kill it all, it's an overrun from now on. And no, we're not going to be stupid, but we're going to take the airport. Yeah, that is maybe not looking great. We do have one more bomber that we haven't used, so it's not terribly strong. We will suppress this somewhat. These guys will move up here. These guys have moved to, well, they've already fired, I should say. They're going to come up just to give reconnaissance support. These guys, I don't know if we're ever going to use them overly aggressively again. I don't know how much I'm planning on going in here. We have the turn, so Well, we'll see. I'm just not sure at this time. But as you can see, we're shifting our artillery up towards the victory hacks. Pioneers are likely to be useful. We're going to elite upgrade them. Still to come, these guys just keep marching. Who knows what you may be useful for. Well, gamers might have a survival bonus through all of this. Okay, well, I think I've moved everything I really need. Good. Oh, you haven't. Okay. Well, that's playing as an AA gun. You can't attack this. Well, it's... Can't attack more. Let's shift over to here. You just got upgraded. You're staying back, but you're doing reconnaissance work. Okay. Yeah, I'm almost sure that I can take the last two victory hexes in time. Now, here. Let's see, where can we shift you to? I think this will be close enough. I want to be flexible in our basing options. They'll get another attack, so come over here. And they surrender. Very nice. You guys get the honor of taking the town. Now, I have not been using this, but we're going to use this now. Reconnaissance. Okay, what do we have up here? Okay, an AT gun, a 57mm AT gun. So that is good that we did not slam panzers into that. Formation up there. Yeah, it is terrible what we are all having to go through, and I mean everybody of us, not every one of us, not just the sick. Obviously, they're in the most terrible situations. But if you were, if a government was doing this, ordering you not, obviously they are sort of ordering or telling you not to go out and do things, but if they were doing this under normal circumstances, we would think that this is great tyranny and very terrible, and it is. Now, we're not as upset by it because we know that there is good reason for the, hey, stay at home type orders. So we're not upset at the government or anything like that for doing this. At least we shouldn't be. If you are, you're mistaken at being upset about it. Okay, these are our pioneers. We'll move them up to here. They can go after the anti-tank gun, which will allow more pursuits up. Hey, spiraling. So far, no snow, but we're only in 23 out of 30 turns, and we've yet to really... There's a Battle for Moscow episode if we win this, is my understanding, next. That's what I've been informed. Okay, let's... I know we really didn't need... air attacks, and we're shifting some of our air forward. So this is not good for too long here. Deal with total isolation. There's many singles. The small flats in big cities. Yeah, and I hear you about the isolation thing, but let's see. Well, there was got to be 7 of us yesterday that were all on Discord talking about things. 6 of us in voice chat, and Lum was just was drunk and just posting memes and stuff. But still, oh, okay. No, we're not going to do that. We just saw how much there is sitting around Moscow. A lot of stuff still. So well, we may get done with this early this term. We're going to keep streaming, but this mission early and go on to the next one. Because I don't know that I want to try to dig through all of that. I would rather reinforce, set up my forces than wear them down in an assault on Moscow. So people need to shift their... and some other officials around the world are already demanding that. Okay, let me... and I'm not going to blame Thomas for what he's saying here, but because he's maybe getting it from the news media, and the news media has been lying at least about Trump, and I mean flat up lying. Because he says here, for everyone, Trump and some other officials around the world are already demanding they lift shutdown partially. Okay, Trump has not done that. And this is the lie that the media, and I don't know what media you're watching, Thomas, out in your part of the world, in Europe. Trump has said, I would like everybody to be able to go to church on Easter Sunday. It would be a good thing. It would be nice if it was, that we could do this. I would like to do this. Hey, I would love it too. I'd love it to be over tomorrow. I'd love it to be over right now. Trump is talking about what he hopes will happen. He is talking hopefully. He has not demanded anything. He has not told anybody anything like they have to go back. It was the damn New York Democrats that were demanding, literally, no, you go out to the parade. They said that when this was already hitting New York. They were telling people to go out to restaurants. No, they were demanding that it stay open. No, Trump is saying, I would like it to be open by Easter. Now, I don't know if Trump, because Trump is a salesman, I don't know if he's just, saying nice words that, are hopeful, but doesn't believe that it'll be happening. Or maybe he's thinking, yeah, by Easter it may be good enough, we can go, lift this, at least in some areas, because I think he's looking at America. There's 50 states here, and what's happening in, say, Kentucky is different from what's happening in New York City. And so maybe, now I don't think it's likely, and hell, I ain't going out for Easter Sunday to any mass group, but even if they do so, and maybe he's right, and maybe he's hopeful and thinks it's going to happen, but Trump has not demanded that. Now I don't know what China, the dictators in China are demanding. That very well may be true, that they're demanding. Supposedly I've heard that they've re-shut down movie theaters in China and other things, but they've sort of demanded that in China. My understanding is opening up the factories and whatnot again, and that people go back to work in China. So there may be places that the demands are going and happening that way. But at least with Trump, and I've heard the two clips, one in a news conference and one in an interview on the same day with Fox News. I've watched the two clips in total, and he was expressing a hope. I think an unrealistic hope, and I don't, he's getting all better news than I'm getting, briefings by Dr. Fauci and other good experts that everybody trusts. And maybe he's, believing that it's a likely outcome. I don't know. I don't think it is. Or he may think it's not likely, but hey, I want to tell American, stay at home now, wash your hands now, do all those stuff now. I know I'm sort of on a rant on this, but do all that now. But I hope by Easter it'll be fine. But he doesn't believe it. Maybe he's just trying to be hopeful and selling us stuff. Maybe he believes it. Either way, I don't care. It's once he does actually say, go back out, this is now the government position, that is a different thing than him being hopeful. And the news media, particularly, which is mostly all left, is just going off, and Twitter's just going off on Trump about it. Now, it's one thing to say, oh, he's being unrealistic in his hopes. Then I would probably agree with them. I would agree with them, but it depends on how they couch it. But when they say, and I'm saying that that's how they're sort of reporting that he's demanding these things, or he's saying it will be this way, or that's what he's going to do is by Easter. No, he's saying that's what he hopes to do. And you have to parse the language. So I'm not upset at Thomas, because I think he's getting the information, but I just wanted to I know my very few audience here of 15 viewers on the two platforms right now combined, sees that you don't have to like Trump. You can think Trump is a bad president, but he's no Nazi. Trust me, he's I study Nazis, and people got back to me. I study real Nazis, and Trump is not a Nazi, and someone who has a Jewish daughter and whatnot is not a Nazi. You don't have to like him, but he's not a Nazi. He can be the worst. You can think he's the worst American president ever. You may be right on that. I'm not saying you got to like the guy, but don't either cheapen, by just because you want to use hyperbolic language. Don't cheapen calling, people that are doing wrong things, misjudgment things, as being evil like Nazis, and don't you don't have to like what Trump's doing. I'm not trying to sell you on Trump, but he isn't the ogre that the media is making out. I want to read, Brett. It's still opening up here. It's all hunky-dory now, Yeah, you're right, Brett. That's what I'm getting from the news, but then I'm hearing from various sort of Twitter-based back channels that it ain't quite that way in China. I was about to move for a new job to a different country. The landlord had already rented out the apartment to someone else 3 days before the move. The hard curfew, it's a big mess now. I can bet, Kai. Yeah, I would just stay in my apartment, tell them, yep, nope, not moving, because of the lockdown. Yeah, it's spiraling. It's being thrown around. Yeah, well, Japan, I think, closed its borders, and the systems in Asia are much more government than we're used to here. in the West, generally speaking, and definitely much more government than in America. So they swarmed in and, where did you go? Anybody that they tested and found that had it, and just really started isolating those individuals. So I don't think it's rampant and spreading in Japan. At least that's sort of the word I get. And they are generally more cautious about wearing face masks. If someone feels sick, not because of any particular reason, but just have a cold, they wear face masks when going out in public so as to not spread it. Japan, I would say of all of Asia, I had 3 years of Japanese language in high school. Don't speak it well now or anything, and I studied the Japanese culture more than I've studied any other Asian culture. They are, I would say, the most socially responsible people in Asia, which probably means the most socially responsible people in the world. So, yeah, their normal is much more controlled like that than a lot of places are. So their normal is already taking a lot of precautions on these things. Yeah, I would just, Kai, I just sort of go, until the lockdown's done, I'm not moving. And I don't know, the guy can sue. I don't know your apartment rules here. I know in California, there is a moratorium on foreclosing on any apartments. So even if you can't pay the rent, they can't kick you out now. Now, they might be able to, once it's gone, they can, I don't know whether the landlords will forgive the debt or whether you have to pay it eventually or they'll kick you out eventually. But at least while the emergency is going on here in California, you can't be kicked out for whatever reason. So if you're in possession here in California, so I don't, and I just stay, like Arno's saying, is stand firm. And then once this is all sorted out, then see if you can move and continue with your job and it hasn't been filled by somebody else and it all works out good, and then get out then. If not, I don't know what to tell you. This is dire times. Yeah, you're right, Kai. It's becoming, and it's, and so, still, and so, it's, using the term Nazi, and it's unfortunately bad because it's cheapening what Nazis were, and it allows future, whether they're not, new versions of Nazis or just new versions of, they don't have to be anti-Semitic and racially based or whatever, Nazis were, but cheapens that, and they'll rise again under a new name, a new thing. Here in New Jersey, it's almost impossible to kick some out, even if they miss payments, mortgages. Yeah, it's normally rather hard anyways here, too, but it's particularly protective. You have worked, the one you have worked for in the past, is that okay? Yeah, well, yeah, he's out of luck, and I would be apologetic in person to him, or in any communication. I'm sorry, but I just can't leave because I'm under lockdown, and this is my current residency at the start of lockdown. I'm really sorry. Don't be an ass about it, but don't back down. Okay, we're going to end this episode. Not the live stream, so everyone hang loose, but the episode. Sorry for the rant. Well, not terribly sorry, but if you didn't like it, I'm sorry that you had to put up with it. Not sorry that I did it. Please like, subscribe. See you next time for more historical gaming.